Mad start, mad start, mad start. Is it a kind of dream floating out on the tide, following the river of death downstream? Or is it a dream? There's a fog along the horizon, strange glow in the sky. And nobody seems to know where you go. And what does it mean? Oh, is it a dream? Bright eyes burning like fire. Bright eyes, how can you close and fail? How can the light that burns so brightly suddenly burn so pale? Bright eyes. Is it a kind of shadow reaching into the night, wandering over the hills unseen? Or is it a dream? There's a high wind in the trees, a cold sound in the air, and nobody ever knows where you go. Where do you start? Oh, into the dark. Oh. Bright eyes burning like fire. Bright eyes, how can you close and fail? Rabbits, rabbit, rabbits. How can the light that burns so brightly suddenly burn so pale? Bright eyes, bright eyes, burning like fire. Bright eyes, how can you close and fail? How can the light that burns so brightly suddenly burn so pale? Bright eyes. Yep, that's it. Torture by bad singing. Torture is over. It's over. Kachunga, my friends, Kachunga. I am Tread the Rev, and I ain't no vicar. Welcome to the show. I see I've got two viewers watching the show already. I'm absolutely stunned. Absolutely stunned. Welcome to the show. Now I always start with bad puns. Bad puns. I thought today, spin bad puns. I would do one joke. It's a simple joke, right? And it's a joke. So please do not take offence to the joke because it's just a joke. It's just a joke. I don't want to upset anybody. So if you get upset by jokes, I turn off now. But it's a deserted island. A deserted island. And after his boats crashed, blah blah blah, two blonde girls end up stuck on this island. And they're wandering around the island, wondering wondering how the hell they're going to get off. Yes, I can beep 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 beep. This video, it's my video, and as they go around, they come across this glass through the bow. It's all dusty and horrible. So one of them picks them up and they rub it. And out pops a genie. And the genie says, he's a bit of a teaser, this genie. He says, I will grant you all a wish each. You're not allowed to wish to get off the island. As in, I want to go to America, But you can have a wish each. The first blonde girl thinks about it and she goes, I wish I was 25% more intelligent so I can find a way off the island. See, I'm not getting off the island. I was finding a way to get off. She realises her hair turns black, and she realises she dies as a swim. So she swims off the island, back to shore. Second one thinking about it, watching her go off. She goes, I don't know. I wish I was 50% more intelligent so I could find a way off this island. But all of a sudden, she remembers she knows how to do carpentry and stuff. So she chops down a tree with an axe she's found somewhere. structure rafts and rows off the island. Hey! The third one, goes, yeah, I'll have to find a way to this island. But how am I going to do this? You know, I was just 100% more intelligent so I can find a way to the island. And she turned into a bloke and she crossed the bridge. That was already there. Crossed the bridge that was already there because the pond didn't. Oh, God. I know. They don't get any better, do they? They do not get any better. This is where the old tumbleweed comes across the screen. We are the tumbleweed. Oh, we are the tumbleweed. Well, and for those eagle-eyed viewers, I will say it's not an actual dog in the windowsill. That's a little cuddly toy dog thing. So yes, I will start the video. I will start the show where I always start the show. If you like the video, if you enjoy watching the video, please hit the thumbs up button. That thumbs up. If you haven't done so already, and would like to see more of this escalated show, please hit the subscribe button. The subscribe button. Please hit the button. And if you want to know when the videos are coming out, ring that bell. Ring them. Ring them. Ling-a-ling-a-ling. And please, tell your friends, get more people to watch. Yes. And so we start. Yes, we are going to start. And as you say, my spelling may have been incorrect, but I'm sure that's the way you're supposed to spell the place. An ancient city in Hyunko, Bolivia. This is where this place is. And I'll be honest, I do have a lot of I love my mystery shows and stuff like that. And as people who know me know, I do love watching ancient aliens on TV. And that is where I first came across this city. I've been fascinated with it myself ever since. I'd love to go there to see it. But you know, so, are you ready, ladies and boys and girls? Are we ready? Are we ready for the history of this site? They're arguably the oldest and most baffling ruins on the face of the earth. It's hard to imagine how they did not come to be known as one of the wonders of the world, like the Great Pyramid of Giza, which, although spectacular, pales in comparison to the ruins of Puma Punka. That's Pumapunka, Puma Punka in Iahuinco, South America. Now, I may have pronounced that wrong. I will spell that place out for you. It's Iahuanaco. I have written things down. That's where you'll occasionally glance down because, you know, I like to do a good video and having things, information written down helps. Helps me because, you know, the ruins of Pumapunka. I may even pronounce the place wrong. I'm pronouncing it Puma. It's the first word is like cat. Puma. Puma punku. Is that right? Oh, I'm sure I pronounced that wrong. All right. I'm sure I'll be told if I've done wrong. Are one of the four structures in the ancient city of Tiahuanaco. The other three structures are the Acapana Pyramid, the Lasagna platform, and the subterranean temple. Now, I've seen some of these on Ancient Aliens, and there's I think it's the one I'm referring to at the moment. It's the sunken. It's the sunken. If you have the platform of the subterranean temple, I think it's the platform, and basically you got like inserted into the ground. It's been put out in the ground, and around the walls of this area, there's all these different faces, and each face represents races that are on the earth. But some faces in that wall that aren't human. Honestly, they're not human. Even with modern day technology and information, these structures defy logic and confound those who seek to solve the mysteries that lie within them. The ruins of Pumapunku are said to be the most fascinating and most confusing of all. Who built these structures? How were these structures built? Why were these structures built? These are all questions on the minds of those researching these ancient structures, and they're not so easily answerable, even if they can be answered at all. This is the live feed. Anything can happen. My phone won't go couple on silent, but anything can happen. Anything can happen. So back to where we were. Pyramids were almost superhumanly difficult to create several thousand years ago. And how much more difficult would it have been to build punku? Punku is believed to have once contained a great wharf and a massive four-part structure. Yet all that remains today are megalithic ruins from some cataclysmic event in history. A great earthquake? Possible. A comet that came too close to the Earth? Again, possible. A worldwide flood? These are all possible, come think about it, causes to destruction of the once great structure that is now known as the ruins of Punku Punku. Now, the weird thing is, it's only the ruins of Punku Punku that's been shattered the way it is. The other three things are still set the way they are. So I don't think it was an earthquake, but we'll go along and I'll tell you what I think the place was, and my personal views. And as I said before, I'm not an expert. I'm not an expert. I only give you what I know, and I just put out to judge. And I'm always willing for people to tell me what they think. Now, not only what is it evidence to support the claim of a cataclysmic flood, but even evidence to support the theory that people once lived there before such a flood had even occurred. The suspected flood could have happened somewhere around 12,000 years ago, and there was scientific evidence of tools, bones, and other material where flood alleviate, which suggests that civilized people were there prior to any flood. The evidence, including carvings of beaded people that are not Andean, have been recorded through the area. Could the ruins of Puma could be evidence of a long lost civilization? Mm, well, Now, what makes the actual ruins unique? All the other places. What makes it unique against other sites? And it's highly unlikely that any of the stones in Puma were cut using ancient stone cutting technique, at least not those that we're aware of. Stones in Puma are made up of granite and diorite, and the only other stone that is harder than those two is the diamond. If the people who built this place cut stones using the stone cutting technique, they would have to have used diamond tools. Weren't female then. Females would never use diamonds as a tool. They didn't use diamonds to cut these stones, then what did they use? Not only were these stones really hard to cut, but they were almost extremely heavy. One of these stones ruins weighs in about 800 tons. These are big stones, and they are really heavy. The nearest quarry is at least 10 miles away from the site of the ruins. How in the world did these people move these blocks that weighed so many tons, and how they're able to form a structure with them? With the technology that we currently have today, it would be extremely difficult to recreate the site of these ruins, if possible at all. If we can't do it, then how did these ancient people accomplish this task? This could have taken place anywhere from 500 BC all the way back to the Ice Age. This is how old this site is. These ancient people had to be very sophisticated, knowing astronomy, geomancy, and mathematics to build a place like Punku that had been significant planning and writing involved. But there is no record of any of this. There was one more significant thing to mention regarding the ruins of Punku. Not only were these stones cut somehow, but they are finely cut. These cuts on these stones are perfectly straight. The holes called into these stones are perfect and all of equal depth. How is it that these ancient people were able to cut stones like this? It is only as if master builders were allowed to come in and construct Punku. All of the blocks are cut so they all interlock and fit together like a jigsaw. There's no mortar. There are only great stones that once fit together, creating a structure some 4 levels high. If these people could have moved these large stones to this precise location, then obviously they've also had a way to place them one on top of another. But how in the world was this accomplished? There are no trees in the area. The nearest quarry is at least 10 miles away, as I said earlier. and we have no records as to how this could have been done. As far as most is concerned, there is no way the Andean people could have done this 2,500 years ago. Even if they couldn't have done it, how is it possible that an even older group of people accomplished it? The simple answer, we have absolutely no idea. No idea at all who actually done it, and even how they could have done it. There have been a few suggestions, but as you can all imagine, they've been widely criticised for the most part. One suggestion has been made that there had to have been some kind of ancient alien who interceded on humanity's behalf, and our ancestors learned how to do all this from them. There are actual records of mythical origins regarding gods and the part they took in the creation of these places. Not sure how we have created myth records, yet no records of plans or writings that contribute to the creation of these places. Another suggestion is that a cataclysmic event such as the flood wiped out these ancient people, along with any records they may have kept. There's some evidence to support this suggestion. Perhaps these ancient people were technologically advanced at some point, and all but a few were wiped out by this major flood. The remnant would have had to start civilization all over again, and of course, ancient records would be lost. Maybe stretches of the imagination. Places like Puma Punku were constructed somehow, and it would have been very difficult for us today to build a place like Puma Punku. And how did these ancient people accomplish it? They have advanced technology similar to ours and then die off. Maps have been found that would seem to support this theory. Maps such as the Piri Ray map and the Ontorius Phineas map have been found to predate European discoveries. Not only have maps have these maps, not only are these maps precise, but they seem to claim that they're copies from even older maps. These maps show the coastline of South America, rivers, and even part of the Antarctica, which is not thought to be mapped until 1818. These maps contain landmarks, as well as depictions of the areas what appears to be accurate. Some people don't believe that these maps could have been made without flying over these areas in the sky. Just how much did these ancient people know? And what were they able to do with the knowledge? The Bible records a worldwide flood that killed off everyone except Noah and his family. Some legend claim there could have been a total of 4 catalytic events that have been wiped out the world's population thus far. Is this what happened to these ancient people who built Mapunku? This day, it remains an absolute mystery. So, that's the information I give out. And you can all take that information, but didn't actually go into what I've seen and what I've learned. It's, it's what I've seen on the videos of this place. When they say these stones are very finely cut, it's art. I mean, I've seen someone try to put a bit of paper in between the stones. That's how fine they are, and the paper will not go through these stones. They are dead straight and absolutely massive. And there's no way before anyone comes out, roll on roll. There's no way these are rolled on rollers. What do I think this place is? Well, personally, this is my own personal feelings on this. Everyone knows that, well, people who know me and who watch my videos knows that I'm, first things first, I'm a medium, and I do get some information from above. Secondly, my information that I see in Ancient Aliens, fact one, I do honestly believe that in Earth's mythical past, gods, so-called gods, were actually ancient aliens who visited this world once upon a time. And they wouldn't have just flown over and gone, hello, they would have landed, watched over us, people who were there. And to do this, if you think about it, to do this, they'd need to construct something to use as a base. Now, you can go all technical and take examples from Star Trek, where they do like a hidden base to watch over those below them. I personally believe this place was like that. It would have been a a site for the aliens to Asian aliens to watch over us. And a lot of these blocks weren't pushed into place. You can't. If you imagine these two blocks, and you've got an interlock there that goes into a little slot into that block there, you cannot put that block up and then push that one up. It ain't going to work. The things you have to go up and then slide down from the top. That's how these were done. So that being said, like the blocks from the Great Pyramids in Egypt, and like a lot of things that happened at Atlantis, I personally believe, and before I say this, please watch this with an open mind. That's all I ask. Just watch it with an open mind. I don't believe these blocks were physically pushed or physically pulled. I personally believe they were levitated. Now, we know you can levitate things with magnets and stuff like that when you play around with it. You can put a north to a north, the magnet, it pushes it away. The levitation that was used in those days wasn't quite, I don't believe, was done by magnetism. Magnetism. It was some other form of telekinesis, well, not telekinesis, but levitation. I read somewhere that someone theorized that they had these wands that were placed on the stones, and they just moved the stones with the wands, and just pointing the way they wanted to go. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. I'm just saying what I've read. I've purely about what I read. I do believe these blocks would have been levitated across and slit in position to make this special place. And again, it was used. There was a platform big enough for a craft to land on. We've seen all that there because someone actually once redid the pieces that were there and made a little model of what they thought the place looked like. And to me, that's what I personally think Puma Punku was. It was an ancient alien home base for them to watch over us. Whether it's a friendly watch over or a hostile watch over, I can't say, but that's what I personally believe Punku Punku is. Ooh. So there you go. What do you think? And I've got some viewers watching me at the moment, and I'd like to say hello to you, to the people who are watching. I'd like to know what you think. You can just tap in and speak to me that way if you like, or leave your message after the video finishes. I'm always willing to hear what people think. It would make sense that, as I said, it was an ancient alien site because of that place I mentioned earlier on with the sunken floor, with the faces in the wall as you go around. Some of these faces ain't human, not in any way whatsoever. I'd love to put pictures up, but obviously I can't do that. I don't have the technology to do that. I'm not that well technology mentioned things. I'd love to do that, but unfortunately I can't. I'm just quickly looking at my phone to see if I can get any pictures of this sunken floor I was speaking about to show you what I mean. Now, what I can show you, I'm showing you now that I don't know if you can do this to the camera. If you can see that, it's a very hard picture to show you. These are these famous stones, the H blocks, and you can see they're cut straight, even to the point where they got these little wedges on the side. I know it's not hard; it's difficult to see. I've got light around me. Like I said, I'm not really technology experienced, but there's also a platform. Like I said, these platforms that are nearby with these faces. That's part of the reason where I think that, you know, about the ancient alien side of it. Also, have you ever thought when you there's certain sites around the world, and this is part of the links where there are positioned in such a way that they match the stars in Orion's belt. Now, take the pyramids to start with, two main ones and the small one behind it. It's positioned in the same way. There's some other cities where famous of the city are there's so much of our past that we don't know about. That well, I'll say we don't know about it. I'm sure people do know about it. they don't speak about it because it's not the right thing to do. It would. I mean, if you think about it, and you have a good think about it, if we ever did discover our past, that we are heritage comes from these gods who are actually aliens that visited us, guided us, watched over us. Um, think how much our history would change from that one little factor. You know, it, all the religions around this world would have to go, hang on a minute, we're wrong. Well, we're not wrong. I mean, it might officially, I'm a Christian, Jesus and all that. Now, people who know me actually know although I'm officially a Christian, I'm actually a spiritualist. And I don't believe there's a God who watches over us. He goes, I'm bored. What shall I do today? I know I'll create the earth in 7 days. And I know I'm most probably upsetting people by saying that. Again, this is my own personal belief. And I don't expect people to do or not to believe in it. And I do believe things that happen in the Bible did happen. But they've been rewritten to, I mean, take for example when Moses, this man called Moses, went up into the mountain to get the two tablets. Apparently, when he came back, he was radiating a light around him and stuff. I believe he went up the mountains and actually entered a spacecraft and was given these tablets from his beings that were in the craft to take back down the mountain. Um, think about when the Israelites fled the city and the waters split open and they walked through, and they're actually done with force fields. Light coming down from the spaceship, shoot across, and you can walk across. Um, Again, but this is only my opinions. Do you think how many stories could be explained if you were to take the twist off? If you were to take the fantasy away from the legendary stories and try to explain them with an honest opinion of what you think happened, it would surprise you. It would really surprise you. And yes, I know I've drifted off a bit from punku, but I'm going back there. Back in a sec. I do believe with all my heart, and the messages that I get from my guides who watch over me when I do these sort of things, I honestly believe that Puma Punku was an alien. It's like a city to watch over us, a home base, so to speak. I do believe either the same beings or the ancestors of these beings that constructed Atlantis and all the cities around it. They in turn went to Egypt. So do you think it's a bit just so happened that the way the pyramids are built and the way the Punka Punka was built is very, very similar with levitation? And as I said that, you know, as I say these things, everyone, I know what you're watching and say, I know you won't levitation, they're rolled into place. I'll tell you one thing, there's an island, and I might even pick on this island as a subject later on. There's an island somewhere, and I can't tell you exactly where this place is. But when they discovered this island, they found out this island was unnaturally made or increased in size. Half the island is a natural island. Yep. The other half has been man-made. It's been man-made by stacking rows and rows and rows of these special shaped things on top of each other, and then things put on top of that. So my question to you is, I'm betting these blocks made out of stone come from the island. They were brought to the island. My question is, how did they place these blocks where they are to make the island? You can't. It is impossible to roll across the water. These are concrete. They would just go into the ocean. It's impossible. Even if you're on a boat and you could, I suppose you could want a boat, float them over and then drop them in. No, because the weight it would take to move these things into the water, the boat would capsize. It's again the same technology who built the pyramids and built Punku also built this island. I strongly believe that a lot of these big blocks, not all of them, are places that I believe was copied, being done physically. But I believe some of these places was done using levitation to move the blocks into place. And even people who lived near there and passed on, they've been asked, who built that place? They go, not us. We live here, but it wasn't us who made it. So, on that note, we now approach the half hour. We now approach the half hour. So, I'm sorry to say it's time to say farewell. It's time to say God bless. If you've enjoyed this video, please hit that like button again. Not that one. And if you want to see more of these videos, please hit the subscribe button. And if you haven't done so already and you haven't subscribed, ring that bell as well and you'll be told when these videos are coming out. I thoroughly hope you've enjoyed the show. And I'm going to say this. It's going to sound weird to say because I can pass the message on to my partner who's just walked into the room, letting all the cold air into the room. I'm going to tell her that the cat was fed about an hour and a half ago. Nice try, Gizmo. Cat tried. Wait a minute. As I said, ring that bell, hit subscribe, like button if you've enjoyed it. What we're talking about next week, I don't know. Perhaps a little alien will come across and might give you a hint in the course of the week. You never know. You never know. So on that note, keep love, my friends. Until next time, I'm Trev the Rev, and I ain't no vicar, signing off. Bye-bye.
How'd that go?